we present James Bolam and Rodney Bewes as Terry Collier and Bob Ferris in Whatever Happened to the Likely Lads. It's now clear to Bob that Terry will have to begin all over again, making new friends and influencing some of the younger, unattached girls around town. As Terry's dated appearance presents a handicap, Bob decides to give him a head start by taking him to the hairdresser's.
God, this place has changed.
Well, everything's changed since you've been away.
Well, yes, but this used to be just a barber's.
Hairdressers. Nobody said barber since Tony Curtis.
Hey, they've got girls in here and all.
Yes, they work here.
I've never had girls in a men's barber's.
Shouldn't think many have. Hello, Rita. Hello.
Hi. Are you having it cut, Bob?
No. I'm just gonna have it washed and blow dried.
Dear me.
Oh, Gary, this is Terry. He's a friend of mine. Can you fit him in?
Sure.
He needs,
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah. Could you sort of restyle him? Bring him into the 1970s.
Well, it's not a restyling he needs, it's more like a retread. Still, I do what I can. Take a seat and I'll get you washed in a minute.
Cheeky devil.
Sit down. He's a good bloke.
Well, I'm not having it washed. I had it washed last week.
You've got to have it washed. You don't have to have it cut, but you have to have it washed and blow dried.
Didn't have to have it washed in the old days. 2 bob for a haircut, 1 a 9 for a trim, and none of this shampoo nonsense.
I suppose you preferred this place as it was, with a chipped mirror and flypaper and hair all over the lino, when it was Tommy Mossop, the terror of the tongs. With his clippers and his hair oil and his nudge. Anything else you require, sir?
He knew the horses did, Tommy. Gave me some good tips.
Not on hygiene, he didn't. He never had a cigarette out of his mouth, or his ash out your scalp. And you sat there up to your knees in other people's dandruff. If his rusty scissors had nicked your ear, you'd have had gangrene within the hour.
I want a manicure today, Bob.
God preserve us.
No, not today, thanks, Gary.
At least you knew where you were with Tommy.
What does that mean?
Well,
what?
Well, I wouldn't want to be blow-dried by any of that lot.
They're all puffs, are they? Collier's Law and old-fashioned designer's law window dressers, I suppose.
It's a well-known fact.
Yeah, and you know what they say, don't you? Another well-known fact. They say that anyone who's always putting queer people down, being aggressively masculine like you, is really only masking his own latent tendencies.
Do you want me to stick one on you?
There you are, you see how aggressively masculine you're being?
Well, what do you expect me to do if somebody says something like that?
Hit them with your handbag.
Who do you fancy to win the game today, England or Bulgaria?
Oh, England, I think, Gary.
It won't be easy, though, will it? Our team, Bulgaria. And they're playing at all. Hey, you're going to watch it on the box tonight?
Are we going to watch it?
Too right we're going to watch it tonight. The trouble is they kick off midday our time. I don't know how we're going to get through the whole day without finding out what the result is.
You'll never make it. The radio, evening paper, television, no.
Don't worry, we'll make it.
Hard lads, those Bulgarians. No walkover. Fancy a draw myself.
Gary?
Coming.
What does he know about football?
Quite a lot. He had a trial for Burnley.
Never. Honest?
Yeah, he still plays Sunday League. So do Dallas and Denny over there.
Who'd have thought it?
Shall I tell you something? Half Newcastle come in here.
Get away. Really?
Malcolm MacDonald uses the same conditioner as me.
Honest?
Yes, do you think he's soft, eh? Have you ever known a homosexual striker?
Shall I do your friend first, Bob?
Yeah, go on, Rita.
Sonia will be finished in a minute. She'll look after you.
Where you go, then? Go on. Relax, man. It's not the dentist. She's not going to pull your teeth out.
Do you want beer, egg, or herbal tonic?
Nothing to drink, thanks.
Your shampoos, you fool.
Is your scalp dry or greasy?
Well, I don't know, do I?
Well, what sort of a shampoo do you normally use?
He usually uses carbolic and wire wool.
I wish you'd shut up.
I think I'll use the beer. Oh, you haven't been taking care of this, have you? The ends are breaking.
Well, it's the heat, isn't it? The humidity, the blazing desert sun and the torrential monsoons. There wasn't always a backwash handy in the jungle.
God preserve us. Here we go.
Morning, Gary. Sonia. Hello, Bob.
Oh, hello, Flint.
Good God, is that Collier? What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
I always come here.
Oh, aye. They do French polishing and all, do they?
You leave my hair alone.
Suits you. One hair forward, the other two brushed back.
Oh, I see you're still the funny man then.
Yes, that beer shampoo, it's gone straight to his head.
Who do you think will win the match, Flinty?
Oh, haven't you heard, Gary?
Heard what?
The latest news from Bulgaria.
Don't tell us! We want to watch it on the box tonight.
No point. You'll never last out till tonight. Let me put you out your agony.
Don't tell us.
Hey, where are you going?
Sorry, love.
Make it next week, Gary.
What a cheek, he's run off with one of our towels.
Leave it to me. I'll call them back. 2-0!
We'll be safe in here. He doesn't use the black horse.
I'll hammer that Flint. I'll kill him.
Typical. I was once standing in a queue to see Psycho. He came out the cinema and told me the ending.
Typical. 2 pints of special, love.
Why have you got that towel round your neck?
In case I spill me beer.
Ask a silly question.
I wonder who scored.
But it depends on who got 'em. Them or us.
Well, it must mean them, mustn't it? I mean, they're the home team. 2-0, he said, not 0-2.
Yes, but people don't go around saying 0-2, do they? Not in ordinary speech. You don't say 0-2. You say we won 2-0 or we lost 2-0.
Yeah, but he's still ruined it for tonight, hasn't he? Whoever scores the first will know. That's it, we'll know.
All that careful planning gone to waste. I take the day off work so I can't hear the score there. I warned Thelma and my mother not to expect to hear from me for 24 hours. I cancelled the evening paper. I even disconnected the car radio in case I switched it on by mistake.
All for nothing.
Hang on. What's the time?
5-1.
Then we're all right.
Eh?
They don't kick off till 1 o'clock our time. So they're only kicking off now. Finn was having us on.
2 pints of specials.
Ah, love. Here, you can have this towel to dry the glasses.
You better dry your hair first.
Hey, well, why did Flint come into the shop and say, have you heard the news from Bulgaria?
Last minute team change.
Oh, aye, probably. Where is Bulgaria?
What? Well, it's your Eastern Bloc, isn't it? I mean, well, if you go from Greece towards Russia, it's sort of second on your left.
Oh, aye.
Balkans.
I beg your pardon?
The Balkans. It's where they had those terrible floods round there. Tragedy, thousands homeless.
Ah, well, that'll be to our advantage. Heavy pitch.
What a terrible thing to say. What an inhuman attitude.
Ah, they know how to cope with floods out there. They're used to that sort of thing.
Well, what does that ridiculous remark mean?
Well, all them countries over there, all them places like Persia and Bulgaria and the Middle East, they're all unstable. If it's not a flood, it's an earthquake. If it's not an earthquake, it's a typhoon. That's what makes the people over there unstable as well. That's why they're always so hysterical, always leaping up and down, wanting a war or a change of government.
Are you seriously putting that forward as a theory of national character?
Certainly. Now, you take Britain. We don't get earthquakes or tidal waves. I mean, we get them bitter northeasterlies in February, but we don't have to pack our possessions and flee south. That's why the British character is so stable. That's why we're dogged, relaxed, calm under crisis.
But according to you, we don't get any crises.
We don't. But if we did, we'd be calm under them.
See, I'm learning a lot about your prejudices today. I bet I could go right across the globe and you'd have a pat response ready.
I've travelled, mate. I've seen a bit of the world now.
For instance, how do you feel about Koreans?
Not to be trusted. Cruel people. Much the same as all Orientals.
Well, that's a third of the world's population dismissed in a sentence. What about Russians?
Sinister.
Egyptians?
Cowardly.
Oh, I thought you'd have saved that for Italians.
No, they're greasy. Not as greasy as the French, mind.
Germans?
Arrogant.
Spaniards?
Lazy.
Danes?
Pornographic.
Well, that's almost everyone, really. Oh, Americans.
Well, they're flash, aren't they?
So it's just the British, is it?
Not necessarily. I don't have any time for the Irish or the Welsh. And the Scots are worse than the Koreans.
And you never could stand Southerners.
To tell you the truth, I'm not very keen on people outside this town. And I can think of a lot of families I don't like on our street. Do you know, I don't even like the people next door.
Hey, I see. So from the distant blue Pacific through the barren wastes of Manchuria to 127 Inkerman Terrace, you can't abide anyone. How someone with your prejudices came to marry a German girl, well, I'll never know.
The failure of my marriage only proves my point. Them and us don't mix. England should take heed of the failure of my entry into Europe. God didn't make this country an island by accident.
So to sum up, the British are calm under a crisis, the rest of the world is unstable, and all hairdressers are fairies.
Except Tommy Mossop.
Oh, except Tommy Mossop. Don't look round, don't look round.
What?
Flint's just walked in.
Excuse me. Thanks. Oh, sorry. Tap. Hello, lads. Don't you want to know who scored the goals?
Shove off, Flint.
The match hasn't started yet.
Only a joke, lads, only a joke.
Well, people don't joke about things like that. You could have screwed our whole day up.
Listen, don't kid yourselves. You'll never last all day.
We can if we avoid people like you.
Look, all we want to do is sit down in front of the telly tonight and enjoy the excitement of the match without knowing what the result is. Is that too much to ask? Is it?
Bob, you're bound to hear the news before tonight. You won't be able to avoid it.
Of course we can.
Bet you can't.
Bet we can.
£5 on it.
£5 each.
It's your money.
You're on.
Right.
From now till the start of the TV programme.
Yeah, 10:25 tonight.
You know it's on the radio. Live, right now.
So what? We won't listen to the radio, will we? And Gloria won't put it on, will you, Pet?
Not if you don't want it on.
So that's you fixed, Flint.
Ah, you've both forgotten something.
Now going over to Sofia for the latest news on the match between England and Bulgaria.
Run for it, Terry. Right, go on.
It's the first time I've seen them leave a full glass.
Never mind. I'll finish them. Cheers.
Hello, Audrey.
Hello, Bob. Is it raining, Terry? Because I'll have to get me washing in.
No, it's not raining. Everybody keeps asking that. And get that radio off.
We haven't been followed, have we?
I'd have known if we were. I've had experience in these things.
What's come over you two? You're barging in like a couple of fugitives from justice.
We're in great danger.
Desperate situation.
Oh, you haven't gone back to stealing hubcaps, have you?
There's a television on in the sitting room.
It's for the baby, Bob. She likes the test card.
Turn the sound off, Bob.
Would you mind switching the radio back on? I was listening to that.
Oh, come on, it's only Radio 2. Good God, missing Tony Blackburn for a day wouldn't do anybody any harm. Hey, there's nobody else here, is there?
Just my lover.
You don't have a lover, do you, Aud?
Wouldn't surprise me. She's always been permissive.
Not permissive, just romantic.
Who is he?
Is this beautiful, lithe, 6'7" West Indian limbo dancer.
Isn't he a bit conspicuous? I mean, on the Elm Lodge housing estate. Hey, what do the neighbours say when they see him coming through the gate? Or under it?
They say lucky Audrey.
A limbo dancer, how low can you get?
About 2'6" on a good night.
You haven't really got someone up there, have you, Aud?
Oh, of course there isn't, Bob. When do I get time to have a lover with 2 kids in the house? I'd just be about to melt into somebody's passionate embrace when a grubby little Ed would peer round the door and ask for another Marmite sandwich. Or else my unemployed brother would turn up.
Look, we'll be no bother. We'll just sit here. You get on with hoovering the baby or whatever it is you're doing.
Thank you.
I wouldn't mind a Marmite sandwich.
The game's almost over.
there'll
Injury time.
be a lot of injury out there with them Bulgarians.
Another generalisation. Bulgarians are vicious. Well-known medical fact. Especially when the field is threatened with floods.
Well, they are, especially on a heavy, thick pitch. It was on a heavy pitch, thick mud, sliding tackle, put me out of the game, ruined my chances.
Ruined what chances?
My chances of a career in professional football.
You can't be serious.
I'll never forget the day. Sleet slanting down from an overcast sky, the crunch of our bodies colliding, a stab of pain above the left knee, the crowd baying for a penalty.
The crowd. Both of them.
Pardon?
You make it sound like one of the great moments in soccer history, like match of the century. Hell's teeth, it was only our scout troop against Biker Boys Brigade. played on a bit of waste ground behind the Regal car park.
Left its mark on me for life.
And the only crowd was our scoutmaster and a woman exercising her Airedale. Oh, perhaps it was the Airedale you heard baying. There's no trees on that waste ground. Oh! And of course you were on the brink of the school's second 11.
If I hadn't had that injury, if I'd stayed at school another year, if I hadn't had to give up training for night school, if I hadn't had to nurse my mother with lumbago in the winter of '61, if only I hadn't had to sacrifice my natural talent for the sake of bringing a living wage into that house.
Hey, God, you make enough conditions. If I'd stayed on at school, if my father had been Prince Rainier, if the Germans had won the last war, if Enoch Powell was a West Indian limbo dancer, I might have been president of the Board of Trade or one of Pan's people.
I'm only saying.
Oh, don't either of you get up and answer it, will you?
Don't touch it. Audrey, leave it alone.
Do you mind? It's my house. It could just happen to be for me. It could just happen to be me mum or a friend or me husband or Littlewoods. Or even an obscene phone call. Hello? Yes, it is. Yes, they are.
Who is it?
Yes, I will. It will give me great pleasure. Goodbye, Mr. Flint.
Audrey, please, don't tell us the score.
Where are you going? Don't you want to hear his message?
We'll be all right in here. We can just stay till it's dark.
Aye. They stay open late here, don't they?
Yeah, take a pew. I've got to see the vicar anyway about the wedding.
Well, at least it's warm, and it's safe, and it's flint-proof.
It's just like the olden days coming here. Sanctuary.
Right.
You could claim sanctuary in a church in the olden days. You know, you could do anything you liked, like steal a sheep or behead someone or rape a Saxon maiden. All you had to do was hide in a church and the law couldn't touch you.
Really?
Sanctuary, they called it.
Funny sort of arrangement.
Mind you, you couldn't have gone out of the church. One step out of the church and off to the stocks.
Oh, have you got any cards on you?
You can't play cards in a house of God.
Well, why not? It's not as bad as stealing sheep or raping Saxon maidens.
We could play battleships.
Oh, we haven't got anything to write with.
We used to play battleships during the sermon when I was in the choir.
It's typical of you, that, being in the choir.
Boy soprano. I used to take the solo in Brother James's air. I quite enjoyed the life. And you got to see what went on backstage.
Didn't your mother want you to go into the church?
No, never.
Aye, she did.
No, she didn't. No, she did not. She wanted me to be a black and white minstrel.
Hallelujah.
You never know. If I'd had the breaks. Did you ever see me in the Mikado? The Home and Colonial Amateur Operatic and Dramatic Society still talk about my Nanky Poo.
I'm not surprised.
You did?
Oh, what time is it?
Nearly 6. Only 4.5 hours to go.
Yeah, I don't want to stay here that long. Must get creepy in here when it gets really dark.
Match will be over. Ground will be empty. Crowd will have streamed away in their thousands. Back to their communes and collective farms.
Plodging through the Balkan mud in their wellies.
Our lads will be back in their hotel. Kebab and chips, victory champagne and a sing-song.
Or drowning the memory of their crushing defeat in communist state-owned brown ale.
We'll go the back way to my new house. Over the railway sidings and through the allotments.
Tell you what. I spy, with my little eye, something beginning with F.
Font.
How did you get that, you jammy Arab?
I just know the way your mind works.
Oh, do you now? Right then, right. I spy with my little eye something beginning with SGW.
Stained glass window.
Oh, well, that was an easy one, that. I mean, any fool... Right. I spy with my little eye something beginning with B.
What?
B.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said P. B, is it? Oh, Bible.
Wrong.
Well, why did you hesitate? It is Bible, isn't it?
No, it isn't.
All right, then I give up. If it's not Bible, what is it?
Pardon?
You heard me. Come on. What is it? Quickly.
Oh, well, I mean, if you want to give up, it's not Bible. It never was Bible. But if you are giving up, then...
Cheat.
Who is? It's Belfry.
Cheat. Belfry. You can't see the Belfry from here. Oh, I didn't know we're playing I Spy with my little X-ray eye. You're supposed to be able to see it.
Well, I can see it. It's that little room over there.
That is the vestry. The belfry's up the church tower.
All right. So I made a mistake. What chance have I got against an ex-choir boy?
My turn.
No. I'm sick of that game. Oh, what time is it?
Flint.
What?
Hello, lads. What are you doing here? Pray for a good result?
Now, come on, Flint. The bet's off in here. This is sanctuary.
Oh, really?
Yes.
The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
Hey, come on, Flint. Now get out the pulpit. Somebody might come in.
Today's text is taken from the Gospel according to St. Reeve. And lo, 11 men did go forth to do battle with a mighty host of Bulgaria at a place called Sophia. And they were surrounded upon all sides with a great multitude, and there was much booing and a gnashing of teeth. And behold, the heavens opened, and...
Would you mind telling me just what you're doing up there?
What? Oh, sorry, Vicar, I didn't see you.
It still doesn't answer my question.
Keep your head down and just creep along to the end of the pew. Now, stay on your hands and knees. Mind that door, it creaks.
Well, I was just passing and I thought I'd...
Drop in for a quick audition.
Not exactly,
Sort of evangelical new faces, Good idea. My act usually lasts for about 15 minutes. Go ahead. Let's see what you can do.
What time is it?
Less than 10 minutes to go.
Oh, what a day. It's been endless.
The longest day.
Must be like this being on the run, some of the places we've been.
Still, we got something out of it. If we hadn't been on the run, we wouldn't have got to the Women's Institute. And if we hadn't got to the Women's Institute, we might never have learnt flower arrangement.
I suppose it'll come in handy one day.
Yes, and you might have saved someone. You might have saved a life with that pint of blood you gave.
That's true. Some victim of multiple motorway madness, saved by a pint of Collier 75.
Did it hurt?
Of course it didn't.
It was just the heat in there made you faint, was it?
I'd had nothing to eat, you know. We haven't dared enter a populated cafe all day. Is there a chink of light showing through that curtain?
No, there isn't. I checked in the garden a minute ago. No one would ever know there's anybody in this house. You could switch on now.
No, we couldn't. We might catch the ITN news. You know what that lot's like. They lull you into a sense of false security, and then bang, they slip in the football results.
Well, Flint, you got 5 minutes.
Phone off the hook?
Yep.
Surprised Flint hasn't sent a telegram. If he does, don't open it.
Oh, I'd have to open a telegram. You can't not open a telegram.
You can when there's £10 at stake.
It might be bad news. What if Thelma had an accident?
They'd ring you up and not send a telegram.
But the phone's off the hook.
Well, in that case, knowing them, they'd put it on the news, SOS.
But we've got the set-off.
Oh, for God's sake, settle down.
I'm sorry. Pre-match nerves, I expect.
We're almost there.
Do you know, I thought Flint would have given us more of a run for his money.
There was one very dodgy moment.
In the church?
In the hospital. When I came round, I caught a glimpse of a headline in the Evening Chronicle.
Well, why didn't you tell me?
Didn't want to upset you.
Well, you've upset me now.
Well, I've been upset on my own for the last 3 hours. Now, don't worry, I won't say anything.
Well, you have to tell me now. You can't just say that and not tell me. I want to know. I've got to know.
I didn't see the score, man. I just saw England F.
How do you mean?
I saw the word England and the first letter of the second word, F. Began with F, that's all.
Oh, God, well, that's it, isn't it? It's obvious. England flop.
Not necessarily.
Or England fade. Or England fiasco.
Look, get a grip on yourself, man. Where's your spirit? Could mean England fight back.
Yes.
After an early setback.
Fight back after early setback, yes.
Or England 5. How about that?
Not bad. How about England fail? It's a fire mud patch.
Who's that?
Lights, music, hello, lads.
Flint.
How did you get in here?
Someone left the door open.
Oh, my God.
You idiot! That's typically goes out to check the curtains and leaves the door open.
It was a good try, lads.
Now look, Flint, shut it. Just shut it, that's all. You've won your money, we accept that. Just don't spoil the game for us.
Right, here. Here's my 5.
You mean to say you still don't know?
No, and we don't want to know. Here's my... lends a 5, will you, kid? Right, now, there's my 5. Now, you've been paid, you've won. Just take your money and shove off.
All right, if that's the way you want it. Shame to take the money.
No, a bet's a bet. Now, goodbye, Flint. Shut the door on your way out.
Enjoy your programme.
Fancy leaving the door open.
Oh, stop it. Let's just enjoy the game. At least we don't know what it is, England effed.
England find their touch?
England failed to save Ferris a fiver, a tenner.
You'll get your money, you'll get your money. Shh. Here it comes.
We're now taking you over to Vienna for the finals of the European Figure Skating Championships.
You what?
This replaces the England-Bulgaria soccer match, which was postponed earlier today owing to a waterlogged pitch.
I don't believe it.
England flooded out.
You've just been listening to Whatever Happened to the Likely Lads. Rodney Bewes and James Bolam appeared as Bob and Terry. Flint was played by George Layton, and Terry's sister Audrey by Sheila Fern. Gary was played by Brian Godfrey, and the vicar by Donald G. Rita and the barmaid by Joe Beadle. The series was created and written by Dick Clement and Ian Frenais, and produced by John Browell. Listen again next week to Part 8. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
Next week, Terry is not keen to meet any of Bob's snobbish friends in an episode called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
This is
BBC Radio 4 Extra.
It's 9 o'clock. Hello, this is Susan.